Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Network's Freedom from Addiction segment. I'm excited to welcome to the program Reverend Winn Henderson. Winn, how are you? And it's great to talk to you again today.
It's nice to talk with you, Neil.
Absolutely. And let's talk about our topic, an article that just grabbed your attention that we're going to talk about today involving opioids.
Yeah, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has approved the deadliest opioid painkiller ever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, as though we didn't have enough.
Right.
Well, if the news media is correct, America is in the throes of the worst opioid epidemic in its history. And what is an opioid? Opioids are a class of drugs that includes the illegal drug heroin, as well as pain relievers available legally through prescription, such as oxycodone, hydrocodone, codeine, morphine, and others. These drugs are chemically all related. In the late 1960s, research found that opioid effects are mediated by activating certain specific molecular receptors in the nervous system, which were termed opioid receptors. The definition of opioid was later refined to refer to substances that have morphine-like activities that are mediated by these opioid receptor sites. Now, what is alarming is that the drugs most complicit in the plague of addiction and overdose are perfectly legal and available in most pharmacies. Now, instead of holding back this epidemic, an opioid stronger than anything we've ever known may well be making its way to the market. Now, this one is called Desuvia, D-S-U-V-I-A.
Oh, my.
It's a super powerful painkiller that was approved by the FDA last year for use in supervised settings like hospital emergency rooms, specifically for use in cases of severe physical trauma like multiple broken bones or gunshot wounds. Desuvia is, get this, 10 times stronger than fentanyl, and we thought that was bad.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, we know fentanyl can really knock someone out, can't it? For sure.
Yeah, because they put fentanyl into narcotics that they're selling. You don't know how much, and they don't know how much, but it's a killer. And so this Desuvia is 1,000 times stronger than morphine. 1,000 times stronger than morphine. Wow. So you might ask yourself, if this drug has been approved for hospital use only, what's the problem? Well, the problem is twofold. One, drug diversion, and two, misprescription, both having a potentially lethal impact.
Drug that could be addictive.
To be used in hospital emergency rooms and surgery and everything, but they don't really need it. They're doing perfectly well with fentanyl. And to produce it, I'm going to tell you in a second what the problem is. Okay, so let's talk about drug diversion. That's the term for the illegal use of a legally prescribed medicine for any use that is not the one it was intended for. Obtaining such prescription drugs is achieved by criminals in several ways, including doctor shopping, which means that a person goes to a doctor with false physical complaints and with the intent of receiving a specific narcotic prescription. Another way is theft. Another way is forged prescriptions. Now, misprescription is the act of prescribing either the wrong drug or the wrong dose.
Right.
In this case of narcotics, that has been very potent and addictive. They can be extremely dangerous if you miss the dose.
The right person to give it to, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get, or if the dose is not given right.
Right. Now, according to a recent study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, somewhere between 35 and 50% of patients that. So for reference, fentanyl accounts for about half of the overdose-related deaths in the United States. Now, because this new drug, Depostion, comes in small, water-soluble tablets, medical experts fear it will be easier to divert and abuse. There does not seem to be any real medical need for it either, as the same drug already exists in hospital pharmacies in the injectable form. One cannot simply ignore the commercial market forces at play here in creating the current health crisis, in as much as drug manufacturers have every reason to encourage sales by decreasing their product cost, advertising their drugs on TV and other places, and fiddling with prescription practices to make the drug easier to obtain. It is foolish to believe that this drug will be any different, as its distribution will be monitored by its manufacturer, AcellRx. Depostion will be registered and regulated in accordance with the FDA's Risk Evaluation and Management Strategies Program for monitoring high-risk drugs. But before you take a sigh of relief, consider the fact that fentanyl was also monitored by the same program, proving that this program has limited efficiency in stopping the abuse of dangerous drugs. So now we have.
Yeah. Wow. And so I wanted to kind of get some quick things from that article that are very interesting. Basically, the two things that make this worse is they're creating a drug that already is available in a different form in hospitals and in emergencies where the pain is really bad pain. Yes. But we're now going to put it in oral form versus the other injectable form. And now it's going to be easier to get on the black market and lead to more addictions, or some doctor write a prescription for. So now we're creating even more of a problem of abuse with a stronger drug that was not meant to be in a oral form.
And I, of course, don't know how the FDA makes their decisions, but it seems to me like they've got enough narcotics in hospitals. They don't need a stronger one. And
especially when a lot of them are saying this is the biggest mistake in the world, to be giving these drugs even to people that are suffering from a serious injury and need pain, stop their pain.
Yeah.
Well, where can people contact you so that they can learn a little bit more about you as an addiction expert, and also as a doctor as well, about what's happening with this opioid addiction and how you can help?
Well, I'm going to continue to be following up as new stories come out and new statistics come out. The best place to go would be to my podcast, and you can get a direct link to it by going to www.freedomfromaddiction.libsyn.com. Libsyn is the distributor of my program.
Excellent. I mean, again, great information. Look forward to chatting with you again. And it's something that's new news that comes on the Neil Haley Network that you bring to us saying, wow, this is out here now. So look out. When we're trying to end this opioid crisis, this is not good news that the FDA approved this drug.
Yeah, I think not.
Okay. Thanks again.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. You're listening to the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just